Hello, in this unit I am going to move on to the language of presentations. I am going to look at both verbal language and non-verbal language of presentation. Indian speakers have a major problem when they are making a presentation in English. I know several speakers, students, colleagues, people I have heard on television or live, who have a gift of the gab, who have a flair for using the right word when they speak in their own languages. But when it comes to English, they have a problem because of the limited vocabulary. They are unable to get the same message across as effectively in English as they would be able to do in their own language. I said at the very beginning that speakers of any we have good speakers in any language, and language is not a constraint. But when English is not a mother tongue, it does become a constraint, and if you have a limited vocabulary. So what is the kind of language we must use in presentations? That's what we'll first examine first, and then we'll look at what are the standard phrases which are used in presentations to indicate that you're making a beginning, you're introducing, and so on. So first of all, the kind of language. Now, Indian speakers tend to make presentations, and I've sat through so many of them in which people are just reading from, they sound as if they are reading from a book. The reason is that they use a very formal language when they are speaking. So most people write a report and they read out the report, they memorize the report, or use a PowerPoint taking clips from the report, and they just read them out. Now when you do that, you sound as if you're reading from a book, you're not making a presentation. And the reason why people do it is the same as we said at the very first lecture, that we are not very fluent in colloquial conversational English, though we can make very advanced arguments in formal English. That's the reason we went through those conversational structures, so that you can also express yourself in simple colloquial conversational English. What is the trick to making a speech? When you are writing, particularly if you are writing an academic paper, it helps if you use a very heavy, very erudite language with big words, big complex structures. But when you are speaking, remember that if you use long sentences, polysyllabic words, difficult words, people don't understand you, and you sound as if you're reading from a book. So you must always use words that are conversational. That's the first trick. The second is, it's not just enough to use conversational words. Remember, you have to sell an idea to your audience. You are framing your argument, you're making something interesting for them. In order to get their attention, how does one use language to get their attention? Now, if you use denotative words, remember we talked about the difference between connotative and denotative words when we did that section on verbal communication. If you use denotative words, you tend to speak in a very straightforward, matter-of-fact manner, which might be okay if you are giving instructions, which might get your message across, a very clear message across, but which will not help you make an impact, which will not help you get your audience to move with you or to sway your audience. What is the kind of words that help you do that? Words that draw pictures. So you need to draw words which create a picture in the mind's eye of your audience. What are those kind of words? Remember, we said figurative language, use of metaphors, use of similes, use of allusions. These are the kind of words that help the audience visualize what you are trying to say. So, if you say that our president or the president of our company is a very efficient person, that probably does not indicate to the audience how efficient your president is. But if you say your president of the company is like the Bill Gates of the Indian industry, so that helps people to visualize, okay, that's the kind of impact, that's the kind of journey your president has made. So people are able to immediately visualize. So use words that draw pictures. Also use words that sound good. We can use words which are synonyms for one another, but they don't always sound good. You have to instinctively use your discretion to decide what sounds good and what doesn't sound good in a certain place. A certain phrase may sound inappropriate, or just the sound of words. Remember, the sound of words is as important as the meaning of words. So, how do we choose words? I thought there is nothing better than doing this other than analyzing this famous speech by Dr. Martin Luther King, his speech, "I have a dream." This speech is used as an example of one of the best speeches of the last century, one can say, in which Martin Luther King shows himself to be a past master of using the art of rhetoric, the use of not only words, but the use of all the devices one can use to capture the attention of one's audience. Let's look at some of the words that he uses and the effect that they have on his audience. So he begins by the you tone. That's very important. When you're talking to people, you must always use the you tone. If you start with the I tone, people tend to think you're self-centered, you're egoistic, and you're showing off. They don't see how it relates to them. So one quick way of grabbing your audience's interest and involving them is to use the you tone. So he begins by saying, "I'm not unmindful that some of you have come out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered back by the winds of police brutality." So notice throughout this sentence, these sentences, each sentence has a you feeling. Some of you has been repeated 3 times within 3 sentences. Along with the you feeling, we have the use of figurative language, use of words that draw pictures. So, trials and tribulations, we are talking, he's punning on trials and tribulations. We are talking of people who've actually been in prisons, or we are also talking about metaphorically being in a prison and the tribulations faced by people. He speaks about the storms of persecution, staggered by the winds of police brutality. Instead of stating it in a straightforward manner, he uses this metaphorical language, the storms of persecution, winds of police brutality. That's what I meant by figurative language. Now let's see how he uses repetition. Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow the situation can and will be changed. So notice this is 4, 5, 6 times the phrase go back, 7 times the phrase is repeated. And then from you we make a transition from you to us. All this while he was saying some of you, using imperative go back. And now he says, let's not wallow in the valley of despair. Immediately he has made himself one of them, the we feeling. Let's not wallow. And again, the metaphoric use, instead of saying let's not give in to despair, he says let's not wallow in the valley of despair. So look at how memorable or how figurative this phrase is, wallowing in the valley of despair. I have a dream. Now we come to the key sentence which gives this speech the title. I say to you today, my friends, that in spite of all the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, I still have a dream. It's a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they'll not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and of all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. So you look at how many times the word I have a dream. And he doesn't spell out the dream. He keeps repeating he has a dream, and then he fits it within this idea of the American dream of prosperity, of a good life, and how he embeds this dream of equality of all people, that all men are created equal within this larger American dream. And then what is the dream? That people will not be judged by the color of their skin. And then he again, now again when he talks, he's not spelling out, because if he says, okay, I want 100% reservation for black people in the American government, I want 55%. So that'll be a very boring way of saying it, and that'll be a very limited way of saying it, because who knows that the wants and dreams might change. So slipping into using a metaphoric language to show what that dream is helps us to use this speech even today, because it becomes a classic which one can use across time and place, that every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. So you see how the use of metaphoric language helps him to transcend that immediate situation of the problem of black people in US. These are words, these are phrases that can be lifted or can be borrowed by any group of people anywhere to share their dream. This is an example of how language can be used. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. So look at how he uses phrases like this everywhere. Jangling discords of our nation. This is contrasted with beautiful symphony of brotherhood. Work together, pray together, struggle together, go to jail together, stand for freedom together. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. So he uses a Christian hymn. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. I won't read the rest of the speech because it's very long, and I would rather that someone who is good at reading does it, or we hear. I would advise that you hear Malcolm X delivering his speech himself to see what impact the speech means, and how the repetition of the word freedom in the last paragraph, how that it's kind of it begins to ring with the idea of freedom. The number of times he uses the word freedom, the message of the speech, which is freedom, that begins to resonate, that begins to ring. and the use of metaphors, freedom ringing from the heightening of displays from the slopes, freedom ringing. So, the idea of freedom ringing rather than the church bells ringing, how he uses these metaphors to convey the idea of freedom. How can you do this to your own speech? You can try it out yourself. How you can use metaphoric language to make your speech more interesting than stating the same ideas in a denotative language. How do you use words which are conversational? How do you use rhetoric? So, always pay attention to your tone. Don't speak to people in an authoritative way. Sometimes we come across as very authoritative or powerful, but it's usually much better just to sound conversational. Just don't orate, just be you. You don't have to be an orator, you can be you. Now, I am going to introduce you to some structures, some phrases you can use in different parts of your presentation in order to be able to make your presentation more impactful. So, when you are introducing your main point, what are the phrases you can use? Now, I am going to focus on, first we would like to look at, let's start with the first problem that I would like to focus on is turning then to my first point. To begin with, I would like to say a few things about, I would like to begin by, okay, so let's start by looking at, I would like to take a minute or two to define what exactly we mean by, I would like to mention these points here. Next stage, what do we do? What is referring to researchers? I have identified three key issues. They are, researchers have shown quite conclusively that a number of recent studies, notably the one by so and so, have shown that a number of studies have shown that research suggests that, according to figures from this show that a very interesting study shows that, the study by so and so is on your reading list. I encourage you to look at it. Basically, what he found was one of the most interesting studies carried out in this area shows that. So, this is how you refer to other people's work. Referring to visual data. When we are showing visual data, we should use some phrases to indicate that we are turning to it. If you look at this table, you can see that the data here shows that, please take a handout and pass on. There are some handouts coming around. Presenting a point of view. So, those in favor of argue that, advocates of so and so claim that, some people claim that, but others, most people would argue that. I think it's fair to say that, personally, I think there's overwhelming evidence that, evidence does seem to show that. Analyzing an argument. Let's take a closer look at the argument put forward by so and so. His main contention is that, but he fails to consider, even if we accept the point, that still leaves the question of the argument you put forward by so and so on. So, emphasizing important points. Remember, you have to give verbal cues to your audience that you're moving on and what they should look for and what they should not look for. So, emphasizing main important points, it must be remembered that, it must be emphasized that, I'd like to draw your attention to the point. These are some of the ways you can use language. And the second part will deal with how do you use your voice. So, I will quickly list these examples of how you can use your voice to make a more impactful presentation. But before that, we will look at examples of how to use words, what kind of words you use in different situations or when you are making transitions from one part of the presentation to another. In the second part, we look at voice and delivery, which you practice in the session on voice and delivery, but we will see how we use it in a presentation. So, we will look at voice control, we will look at projecting your voice, varying the pitch, tone and volume, using pause, using repetition, using questions, and varying the voice in volume, pace and emphasis. We have another speech here, and we will have people delivering some of these speeches to show you how you can improve your own delivery and speaking.
Presenting on Friends. I think most of us have already guessed what's the topic about. How many of you have actually seen Friends? Okay, so
we communicate through two different channels. One is verbal, one is non-verbal. Verbal, where we exchange words to communicate with each other. Another is non-verbal, where we exchange our messages without using any of the linguistic means. So today I'm going to discuss about.
That is the point. When you give sarcastic feedback or when you give feedback which is not very positive and more on the negative side, it might not help the speaker to improve what they are doing wrong. So coming to what is feedback, it is nothing but you are feeding the speaker something from your side after they are done speaking. Now it consists of everything, the non-verbal cues as well, not just what you speak but also what.
Finally, we'll end up with a conclusion whether it is a pain or a boon. Okay, let's begin up with the introduction. Electronic commerce or e-commerce.
To begin with, I would like to ask you a question. Now, what if I came up and told you all of a sudden that in this class we will not use any lab projector or any overhead projector or any pointer in this classroom? Is it possible? Can we really imagine a postgraduate class postgraduate lab class of communication in IIT Kharagpur without made up of just walls and no technical instruments whatsoever?
A proper presentation is a complete process which begins right at preparation for the presentation till the end. One cannot think of making a presentation without a proper body language, posture and gesture. Now we look at two individuals, a lady and a gentleman, showing their body language, posture and gesture, how they start the process right from entering the room till leaving the room, and in between how they go about doing the presentation. We see this lady and the gentleman entering the room with a smile on their face, with a proper positive posture. You must keep your notes ready. Prepare a handout or jot down the points and keep your notes ready. Greet the audience with a smile on your face. Keep moving, don't be static. You shouldn't hunch back. Keep a confident posture, which would definitely take you a long way. Use hand gestures to be more expressive during the presentation. Show receptiveness, which would include interactiveness with the audience. Be prepared to be asked anything related to your topic. Know your topic well so that you are ready to answer any question with relation to that. Be informative while answering question. You must not shift weight from one leg to another. You should look confident, look professional while making the presentation. End your presentation with confidence and liveliness on your face. Say thank you while you end your presentation. Leave the room without showing your back to the audience.